Yeah, we met a year ago. Kind of got derailed, right? Had an
Yeah.
awesome time. He showed me around India. It's a really
Yeah.
good experience. I mean, I'm sure I was in the richest, nicest neighborhood
Yep.
in New Delhi, probably in all of India. All the good food. Food in India was fucking amazing.
Epic. Did
By
you
the
try
way.
some spicy stuff?
Yeah, the hotel. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the hotel food was so good. Kshitij.
Yeah.
Even the food at the hotel was amazing. You've been here for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
How is game in India different than here?
So one thing I feel good at an advantage in India is because a lot of people don't approach girls. If you just approach a girl, you sort of set yourself apart. If someone is not good at dating in India and he thinks, oh, I'm going to go to the US and I'm going to kill it. No, you won't. If you're not good at dating in India, bro, like you're not going to be good at dating anywhere else as well. I mean, Goa sucks. Now you have all these uncles and aunties like, with like a fucking belly and aunties and like saris partying and chilling. So
Yeah. Okay. all right.
I don't wanna go to
You're
Goa
really
myself.
selling this.
Boys, we'll take up your questions right now. I'm live here with Mike from Pickup Alpha. I'm in Vegas. Him and I met up in New Delhi last year, and we're meeting
Yeah.
again in Las Vegas.
I was like,
Um,
yeah, crazy story. We ended up doing Everest Base Camp,
yeah,
and then
not me though. It
Yeah.
was you.
So apparently, talking to women wasn't a big enough challenge. We wanted to get some cardio in, and then we were gonna go to Pokhara, but then my buddies were like, "Let's just go to India instead."
yeah.
It was a 2-hour flight. We got to New Delhi, still recovering from all the altitude sickness.
Yep.
Kshitij was like, "Hey, we got to go out." So I'm like recovering from a fever. We
Yeah.
went to this club called Bergamo.
Yeah,
India was not what I expected.
yeah.
It
What
was-
did you expect?
Well, I didn't expect all these ballers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like first club we go to is like Bentleys parked everywhere
Yep.
and like
Lemons
fucking
and everything.
Russian models. You know, I don't know why, but like
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of Russians on the West Coast. They're
Yeah.
usually more like in Miami or like Bali. But
Yeah.
just they always feel like they don't want to be there. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Russian girls just feel like they're just indifferent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen that. So you'll see a lot of Russian girls in Thailand and Bali because they go there for the summers. The ones that you see in India, they're there for work. So they work at clubs as like, the waitresses and all like dancers and everything.
They look like they're
And-
working.
Yeah. But that's why there were like a lot of Russian girls as well.
Yeah.
So what happens? They work at the clubs, and the dudes that sort of own the clubs or are promoters and DJs,
Yeah.
they sort of get with them and everything. Because I have a DJ friend. He's dated Russians over the years, like Russians, Ukrainians, and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Over the
cool.
years.
So
Yeah, dude.
basically, step one, buy a club, and then hire Russian models,
Yeah.
and then date them.
Yeah, but then I picked up one of those waitress girls as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was, and the crazy thing is they're always with the manager. So because they're with their manager, he's not gonna let you talk to them.
I see.
So that's pretty crazy. And then at the same time, you gotta sort of sneak past them. So I handed her my Instagram on a paper napkin, like the old school days. So I wrote on a paper
You gotta
napkin.
be undercover about it.
I went undercover, and then and I was just confident as fuck, and I think she loved that.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys don't
Yeah.
realize sometimes you have. It's better to be low key. It comes down to making things work at the club, right? A lot of
Yeah.
times logistics are against you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, if you're a white guy, there's a little bit of attraction. Like a girl's not gonna just solve logistics for you.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Well, I mean, even if being a certain race has an advantage, I think it might help you on the open. It might
Yeah.
help you on the hook just a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's so much more on the mid to back end of like night game that you
Yeah.
have to consider. And sometimes what I notice is guys that are traditionally good looking or
Yeah.
whatnot, they actually pull less.
Yeah, because they don't take enough action.
I've noticed so many attractive guys, they settle for like mid looking girls
Yep.
because they're so used to girls coming up to them.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll ask them like, okay, the last couple relationships, did you approach her or she approached you? It's always like, yeah, the girl like pursued me.
Yeah.
I kind of just let it happen.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, the girls that are really attractive, they're probably not going to pursue you.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of stuck in a very shitty situation where you're so passive.
Yeah. And then at the same time, I don't think they would have they won't get like the quality girls as well, since you always have girls pursuing you. So you're not gonna get like the really hot ones or the ones that you really want to date if you're just being passive. I would love to always be active about it, just because it's gonna translate later on in the relationship as well. That this dude is a go-getter and he's like goes for things. Versus like if a girl is approaching you, it's sort of the dynamic sort of shift as well.
Yeah, it's just never good to have girls
Yeah.
pursue
But-
guys. 'Cause
yeah.
think about it. How did she get good at pursuing? That's also another question, right?
She's a female fuck boy.
Well, yeah, she got
She's a female
good
fuckboy.
from practice.
Yeah.
Right? Or she has very masculine characteristics.
Yeah, and then the but you know it's contradictory as well. Like let's talk it out. You know, let's hash it out. So one thing is the highest level of game is where you have girls chasing you. You know, it's not like you going after them every time. So, but I like right when you approach a girl, she's not gonna chase you. You got to do game. You got to learn push pull. You got to learn a couple of techniques so that later on it shifts in a dynamic where you screen the girl and now she's chasing you more than you are. But then right at the start, like with some of the stuff, like let's say what Dan Bilzerian does, where he sets it up, and I was with Michael Sartain, and like we did the party with Owen and in the hills.
Yeah.
That's pretty kick-ass stuff as well. I feel, you know.
What I would think is like dating isn't one size fits all, right?
Yeah.
There are just some girls that will never chase you no matter what.
100%.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And also, if you have, I think game is also specific to certain niches, right? If you're running parties in Vegas and social circle, some girls will chase you, but it's a specific archetype.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a nerdy biomedical engineer chick who goes home and reads books to chase you in that situation. Right?
Yeah.
It depends on what you want.
Yeah. But even then, you know, if like, what do you think is like the best way for like a dude to, you know, be in the dating market? Like what I've like, if he's like just a nice guy versus he's got like a little bit of a fuckboy trait in him, I think it's always better if you have a little bit of a fuckboy, because even if like the nerdiest girl would not want to go with like the nerdiest guy, she'd want you to be smart, but she'd want you to have like some finesse, because women are still the same. They want to like they want to have fun with you. They want to laugh. They're not going to penalize you on being like, because you're like this guy who's got high testosterone or who's like good with the ladies.
Yeah, I think what really matters is a guy that just pushes the interaction forward.
Yeah, true.
You could be the nerdiest guy, but if you're pushing it forward and you're making things happen.
Yeah. And it's about what I've figured out is it's not like, I mean, should you be a fuckboy or not? I think it's a spectrum. It's like you got to calibrate according to the girl that you're talking to. How fuckboy should you be? You know, if you're drawn to a girl who's like a stripper or who's like an OnlyFans model, you gotta have clout. Like they're gonna look for clout, they're gonna look for status.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to see a lot of pre-selection on you and like what you can really do for them, status and fun. But like a girl who's like, you know, she's like attractive and hot, but in the classy way, and she has a lot of dudes hitting her up. Like that level of fuckboy, like Dan Bilzerian, would be sort of not helpful actually. You could tone it down a bit more, where you're like, dude, I'm just like an attractive guy that goes out with girls. So
I think for every girl, there's you got to calibrate it specifically to your audience. I think game is also like right now, so much social media is coming in from Miami. I just feel like dating is so not realistic. You know what I mean? It's like multimillionaires driving Lambos in Miami.
Oh,
their expectation of dating is that 1% that doesn't relate to the rest of the world. Or the universe. So.
And girls want that. Like every girl, like she might not be that attractive, and she'd be like, yo, I want that. And you know, it should be equality for everyone. It should be like, don't just judge somebody on their looks. But I mean, humans are like that. So my girlfriend's pretty fucking smart, right? She's a surgeon. She's a doctor. She's a surgeon. She's famous as well. And she's like that nice girl who comes from like a good family, and she's not after it for money. Because I used to drive a shitty car when she'd be hanging out with guys in Lamborghinis, and still we started dating. And then it's
got to be in your next. You know, I pulled a doctor in this car. It was a Toyota Camry 1996.
Yeah, it was a Renault Duster. So you can't drive a car with 10 years. In Delhi, if it's a diesel car, all right.
I see.
So that car had like 9 years on it, and I got it second hand, or like after it had done 8 years. So, and then I'm driving her around in that one, and she's used to like Lamborghini. Like she's gets invited to like the Ferrari events, the Lamborghini events, the Formula Ones and everything.
Saw a lot of those in that club.
Yeah.
When I went to India.
So she hangs out with those people, you know. And I don't think it was money that she wanted from me. It was just pure game. And then once I think a year and a half after we started dating was when I bought my Audi, the one in which you and I were
it's a
chilling
nice
in.
car, yeah.
Yeah.
It was surreal because like we're driving around going 50 miles an hour. We're in a luxury car going through like random streets in India.
So
it just felt really surreal.
So the area we were driving around,
hip-hop.
the area we were driving around was like that. You call it the Luton's area and the embassy area. That's
Okay.
where all of the international embassies are there. That's where all the politicians live.
People tend to make the same mistakes over and over again, you know? And so what I've noticed, if you listen to a lot of just people that are pumping out content, maybe guys that are intermediate in game, you know, the ones that are wearing the meta glasses, that are approaching girls, you start to see like people are saying the same thing over and over again. So like, I think you got to really change, you know, you got to change your dialogue a little bit. Because if you're doing the same, or if you're saying, that's why I didn't like the old school using the same routines, right?
Yeah.
If you're not varying your content, you're not changing the circumstances, you're not really learning anything.
Yeah.
If you if you approach 1,000 girls, you use the same opener, you use the same sort of lines. What if the scenario changes a little bit? You don't have the ability to adjust on the fly. Right?
Yeah.
So tweaking that, and then also getting people to audit. Because I see some guys that are, this is what I noticed, right? There's the beginners, and then there's the guys who've been in the game for many, many years that are still bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's an optimal curve, right? It's like the more you practice, the higher your probability of getting good is.
Yeah.
But then if you don't get the feedback, you actually get worse because you're locked into like bad characteristics.
Yeah.
In my opinion, statistically, I do better with guys that are complete newbies because in most cases, it's just a lack of practice, lack of experience.
Yeah.
If I have a student that applies for coaching and he's like, you know, sometimes they brag, they're like, oh, I've been in the game for 10 years. That's actually worse. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine like you've been running for 10 years and you're still like 300 pounds. It's not, that's not good, right?
Yeah.
Usually they have some sort of, I don't say learning disability, but there's certain things you actually have to unplug and recorrect because they're probably doing something wrong over and over. Yeah, we met a year ago, kind of got derailed, right? Had an awesome time. You showed me around India. It's a really good experience. I mean, I'm sure I was in the richest, nicest neighborhood in New Delhi, probably in all of India. I actually stayed at a hotel that was in the mall.
Yeah.
It was like surreal. Like I go downstairs, you can run day game. There's like there's like Starbucks and all the good food. Food in India was fucking amazing.
Epic. Did you try some spicy stuff?
Yeah, the hotel. Yeah, and then the hotel food was so good because I was sick I was sick that week.
Yeah.
Even the food at the hotel was amazing.
Yeah.
So, but let me ask you this: so you've approached quite a bit in the U.S. now that you've been here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How is game in India different than here?
So one thing I feel we're at an advantage in India is because a lot of people don't approach girls. If you just approach a girl, you sort of set yourself apart. You know what I mean? Like here, the girls are used to getting approached more. So they're not going to...
What are we talking about? Like daytime, nighttime?
I think sort of both.
Okay.
Sort of both. And secondly, what I've seen, if you've got... So like with me, I've mostly done just direct game in India. Mostly. Like just direct, like, hi, you look amazing, or like do the hand of God stuff and just spoken to them. Yeah. And then it's just the confidence and everything just takes it away. But then at the same time, I feel like I'm a pretty chill guy as well. Like if I were to just talk to a girl, I could get away with a lot more stuff that somebody who's not maybe as good looking or tall or like as smooth as me might not. So I feel that's one advantage. But then since I started traveling internationally and anytime we talk to girls who are more westernized, the direct game doesn't work as well because they just say thank you and leave. So it kind of works. It will work at times. But if we were to look statistically, I think situationally opening them and like talking to them like that, it's worked a bit better.
Okay.
So like, you know, which is like you're not clearly telling them I'm here for you.
So you're saying direct game works well in India?
Yep. But
what about if you're non-Indian?
But you
what if you're like an Asian guy?
I think it will. Like if you're an Asian guy, like
which I was the only Asian guy at the club, dude. Yeah. There were no Asian dudes at that club.
No, but so the Northeasterns in India, if you're from Northeast India, you look Asian.
Okay.
You know, exactly the same.
Okay.
So
I'll blend in.
Yeah, you'll blend in.
Okay.
And now that you're darker skinned than me, so
I know.
So yeah,
I just gotta grow a beard, which you can't.
yeah.
Some minoxidil.
Yeah, I think if you derma roll and you minoxidil, you might just able to. Because a friend of mine grew his beard. Like he wasn't able to grow it at all. So So yeah, but then there's another thing as well. Like if I'm going direct with like a 9 or a 10. If she's really hot, she wants that confidence because she hasn't seen that confidence from a lot of people. They're like scared of her beauty or something.
Yeah.
So if I'm just looking at her in the eye and I'm just like very masculine, just matter of fact, I'm down to her, it's worked out well in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, because I've only been a very small segment of India, like I would say in America, it pretty much doesn't matter where you go, like what mall you go to or what city. It's pretty much day game is all the same. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe New York's a little bit different, Miami's a little bit different, but like a mall's in America, right?
Yeah.
But like in India, like I'm guessing you can't just go to some pop out of middle, like you have to go to specific spots, right?
True. So like it depends on like where we had a meetup. That mall is the best for night, best for day game.
Yeah.
Because you get the highest quality people there. If you go to like let's say Connaught Place where you were staying in that area, it's you get a mixed crowd out there. So but it still works. Like everything works. And I'll tell you like whenever I've traveled abroad, like if you were to say how different is dating here in the US or like how different is talking to girls when you approach them or when you talk to them, it's just I think a 10% calibration.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone is not good at dating in India and he thinks, oh, I'm gonna go to the US and I'm gonna kill it. No, you won't. If you're not good at dating in India, bro, like you're not gonna be good at dating anywhere else as well.
Yeah.
So it's better you build up that skill set. Like I think if I were to wait for like 12 years to come to the States, like I've been gaming for like 12 years. If I were to wait for 12 years, be like, yo, talking to girls is not possible in India. So socializing is not possible. It's looked down upon.
Yeah.
I got to go to the US and that is when I'll do it. Imagine how different my life would have been.
You'd be very good at math and statistics.
Yeah, I'd be very good at all that stuff.
Yeah.
But even then,
Just to follow up on what you said is that's absolutely true because people make it seem like country A and country B are like one data point, but you got to understand every country the women are it's a distribution, right?
Yeah.
So if you talk to thousands of women in America, that's a very broad distribution. Right?
Yeah.
And so if you were to go to India or another country, most girls will still be within your sample size distribution.
Yep.
Because let's just say Indian girls are conservative. Well, if you talk to 1,000 women in America, you're still going to meet at least 100 conservative women.
Yeah.
So like if you talk to enough girls anywhere, that umbrella of data points is going to cover most of any other country.
Yeah.
Right. That's why like if you get good at, let's say Las Vegas, I didn't really feel like there was that much difference going to Europe or that much difference in going to, like Asian girls, you might have to build a little bit more comfort, right? Latin America, you might be a little bit more aggressive or might be a little bit more physical.
True.
But it's still tweaks within data, a sample size that you've already seen before.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna, Asian girls are probably a little bit more shy, but there are crazy ones.
It's the same with the Northeastern girls. They're a bit more shy, so more comfort with them. And I'll show you. I'll have to turn it off. But like, I've got some Northeastern
What part of
friends.
India is the most conservative, and which one's the least?
The rural areas are going to be the most conservative. Let's say. So it depends. Like South India has places like Bangalore, which are more urbanized, and Chennai and Hyderabad. But like the rural village areas are going to be.
He's from Chennai.
He's from Chennai. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Should I go visit?
No. I haven't been to Chennai.
Okay.
So don't go.
Well, there are a lot of cities in India.
I think Delhi and Mumbai should be good. Okay. Anything else you want to skip, unless you want to go into nature.
Goa is good, right?
No, dude. No, I would any day go to Thailand, then go to Goa.
Thailand's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean Goa sucks. Now you have all these uncles and aunties like with like a fucking belly and aunties and like saris partying and chilling. So
okay.
I don't wanna go to Goa.
You're really
myself.
selling the cities in India.
Yeah, no, you don't want to go to Goa, dude. Delhi and Mumbai are for sure. Because in Mumbai, you're going to meet actresses. You're going to meet the really hot girls. Okay. So everybody from everywhere, like now they're going to Miami, but earlier they'd go to LA, right? So now everybody just flocks to Mumbai. So because you have the modeling industry there, you've got the films there, you've got the TV shows there. So everyone's flocking to Mumbai. So the prettiest girls in the country will go there. It's very common for you to bump into actresses and like the struggling ones or the famous ones. Yeah. So they're pretty hot.
And I would say for a lot of people, if you're just visiting a place for a couple of days, your experience will dramatically differ if you have somebody that lives there that could show you some key places. Yeah. Because you hit me up and then you showed me around. If I didn't meet you, my experience of India would have probably been completely different.
Yeah,
right?
you were not known at the clubs. You would not known have. You remember that cheesecake place I took you
Yeah,
guys
it was
to?
fucking amazing.
Yeah, you would not have known any of that stuff.
Yeah, because my friend David,
Yeah.
he went to some fucking 5 miles from wherever we hung out, and it was
Yeah.
just cows. He didn't see a single like female.
Yeah,
It was
because
all dudes.
He went to Old Delhi. He went to like the
Yeah,
Red
oh,
Fort and
fuck.
everything.
Yeah.
I don't go there, so
Yeah,
like if I don't go there, why would you?
it's just
go there?
crazy how you could be off by like 5 miles.
Yeah.
and you can make an assumption about a country that's completely
Yeah.
different than somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the thing with India is it's such a big divide between the rich, the elites, or the upper middle class, and like the lower class, the ones that live in rural areas. Even like people that are house helps and everything. So there's no dignity of labor. They're not paid enough. Like if you were to get a maid out here, it would be a lot. Like maybe $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month.
Yeah, probably 2,000-3,000.
Yeah, it's $100 a month in India. So every house has a maid. So it's not the same. So the divide is a lot out there, and which
That's
is
why you have 20 employees.
that's
Fuck,
why I have
dude.
20 employees. Yeah.
All right.
So
We're going to start a mansion in India. We're
India.
going to hire 50 maids
yeah.
and just have the podcast as pristine as possible. Are you serious? $100 a month?
Yeah, that'll be like
Holy
$8,000. Yeah,
shit,
100,
dude,
120
that's-
a month. Like you get a chauffeur for like $200 a month, 250
I,
at max. Like
that's-
that's how much you pay.
I think that's the play here because like you just find a couple of good buddies that are all entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You get a nice pad. One of my buddies,
Yeah.
actually, he's my business mentor. He has a place in Medellin, Colombia.
Mm.
Chef, all these
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and they just focus. Right?
Yeah.
So
True.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
a lot of people go to Colombia to mess around, but there's actually a lot of people that go to these places. They're
Yeah.
actually able to focus and lock in and
Yeah.
get a lot of work done when it comes to like business.
Yeah, and like this divide in the country is not good actually. Like I would want, because the more money that everybody in the country earns, the better the GDP, the better the growth of the country happens. Like the economy gets better.
Yeah.
And like $1 is 84 now. 10 years back when I started, it was around 60, 70.
Okay.
Like 10,
Okay.
15 years. So it's like 84 now. It just keeps
Lost,
on.
like 20%, something like that.
Yeah, dude. It just keeps on hiking up. So it's because of that divide, which is why if you were in a different place, you would be accessible to a different crowd. Versus if you like the places we went to were like elite places. Like you have to get on the list. You got to be with a girl. You can't get into those places. You can't pay to get into those places at all. So those are the places we went to. And yeah, that's
It's a good experience. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, we also saw a Steve Aoki lookalike running around with his shirt off. I actually have the clip.
Yeah.
Post that in. It was
Yeah.
a wild night, dude. That was not what I expected in India.
Yeah, I'm not gonna share that clip because I've seen that dude around in the club, and
Oh,
I'm
he's
not sure.
popular?
I think I've seen it going out because you notice people. He had like he had long hair.
He's got to have rich parents.
Yeah,
rich
probably.
parents.
So I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. Maybe if I see him next time, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, what's up? How did the fight turn out? I like try to talk to him.
If
He must be a
imagine
cool
you're
dude, but like,
imagine being shirtless and you're causing a scene. There's 5 security guards chasing you, but they're not actually like pinning you on the ground.
Yeah.
That means you're
Someone.
you're paying somebody or you're like a regular. They just
Yeah.
put up with your bullshit.
yeah, they have to. Because it's Delhi, dude. Like, it's the place where people have a lot of connections. And it's only when you have a lot of connections, you come from good family, are you going to be in that place when you're there. So everybody knows that if you cross your boundary, this is not just going to be someone. Like, if he's here, he must be like some really, some dude. So that was there as well.
Let's talk about your favorite cities in the U.S. so far. So you've been to New York,
Yeah.
L.A., you're here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Would you say like the cities were what you expected? The girls were kind of like what you thought they were?
Yeah.
Share
I
the-
think New York was crazy, bro. I really like. So New York, I would just walk around and I'd just see like beautiful, stunning women in New York, and more so in the evening. I went to a gym as well. The gym was pretty sweet. It's just really expensive in the US, but it's really nice. In LA, we went to a couple of places. We went to the Bungalow. We went to the Victorian. Decent girls out there, but the really attractive ones were at the mansion party that we did. There were like
Nice.
200 girls there, and they were super attractive. They're like models, OnlyFans girls, TikTok stars, influencers.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're pretty sweet.
Yeah, I feel like once you have like the setup and all the moving parts, it's just really easy, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another play.
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
gonna start
creative
talking
house.
about the setup more. But I feel like people in India and people in the chat. Oh, it's 3:30 a.m. We got like 14 people online. But anyway, so people in the chat can tell me that what their goal is, because I feel like not a lot of people back in India want to sleep with just a lot of girls. They want genuine connection. They want like that one nice girl they want to settle down with, who comes from a good family, who they can have meet their parents and they can start a family with. So when you're in India, one is you stay with your parents till the day you die. Because if you leave your parents, it's almost like you're abandoning them in old age. So it's looked down upon. Moving out is looked down upon. Secondly, when you get married, it's two families coming together. So it's not just a new nuclear family that happens. And that's the craziest thing in United States, what I see. So I think the US is going more towards an individualistic society, which cannot be good for them. Like, for example, having a nuclear family, like when you're 18, you move out of the house. I think it's good because you get to become your own man. It's like the bird getting out of the next nest to find their own resources. That's good. But then at the same time, now you're an individual person. So it's not like the wealth is getting transferred as well. So versus if you have a joint family and the family shares a car, you live in one house, the resources are shared. So you make more money, and it's like all of your brothers stay together, they come together, you eat dinner together. There is like the holistic stuff. Now, when you moved out and when you have kids, the kids grow up with only one set of parents, and mostly both the parents are working. So the kid grows up with a nanny. You're outsourcing the upbringing of a child as well. Whereas in a country like India, where sometimes one of the parents stays home. And if the mother is staying home with the kid, it's going to be beneficial for the kid. But of course, it depends on the family, how much money they're making. And sometimes it's just not feasible for the mother to stay home. Or like she would want to go out, the father would want to go out. But you're not outsourcing it to the nanny. Why? You've got grandparents out there to take care of them. So your grandparents are still yours and you feel great with them. Now, you get married, you move on, you've got your kids. Now then the kids are moving out again. And now you're alone in your old age. You have nobody to take care of. And it's not that you're coming back to a family which is more holistic, which is just, like you eat dinner together, you eat breakfast together, and you have people around there that you can rely upon. So that way it's better. And now the idea that I've seen in Vegas and LA and everything I've been, the people that I have been meeting, almost everybody is in the camp of, so in India, it's wild for me to see out here that people have kids without getting married. Like Kylie Jenner, Logan Paul, and a lot of other people. They're like, I want to have a kid. I'm going to find a woman who I'm going to have a kid with. It's just like a task. I'm going to have a kid. The kid is going to be there. It's not like we're going to together have a kid out of love and we're going to stay together. That companionship isn't there. So it's not only at a level of family, it's going to a point of your relationship with a woman. It's sort of like, yesterday I was with a guy, and I don't like taking names, so I'm not going to mention who he was, but he was like, bro, I think it's kind of cool living in like a household where the mother and father are there. And I was like, what do you mean the mother and father are there with the kid? He's like, so he said that I feel it's going to be kind of cool if you raise the kid together. So there's this idea that the mother can raise the kid alone or the father can raise the kid alone. Like, what the fuck? You need both the set of parents for the kid, for the child, to grow up in a healthy relationship. So now the default is you can have a kid with one person, you can have a kid with another person, the kid is going to raise itself. And it's so individualistic. Earlier, it was just a family being individualistic, right? Grandparents different, the kids are different. Now it's like the parents are separating. It cannot be good for society at all.
I think society as a whole is going into some unforeseeable future.
It's crazy.
I don't think it's going into the right direction, especially with like AI. I mean, you're looking at a lot of, Japan's having population collapse. I mean, I don't think two dating coaches sitting in front of a podcast is going to solve the future of a couple billion people. But
I'm going to be a men's coach, bro.
I do think having two parents raise a kid is good.
Yeah, that's good. And even grandparents is really good.
My challenge is I think a lot different than my parents. So I think it would be challenging. If I were to have kids, I don't know how much role I want my parents to mold my kids because, my parents are coming from that old traditional Asian backgrounds, like, like Confucianism, don't talk too loud, don't stand out, don't take risks, play it safe. We're obviously entrepreneurs, so
correct.
It's more like, let's put our shit out there. Let's try this, let's try that. So it's even a challenge for me. I don't think I even have all the answers.
I feel the same, but there's a lot of trauma as well involved. I just feel like my parents would do a better job raising my kids than they did raising me. I kind of feel that. So, but I don't know. Let's see. Like, it's cool to have grandparents because I grew around having grandparents. It was nice. Although I grew up in a boarding school, but whenever I came back, if my mom wasn't, so my parents were separated, so my mom wasn't there, but my dad would go to work. I had my cousins, I had my grandparents there, I had my aunt there, like my father's sister. So it was kind of cool. I would still feel a bit lonely, but I still had a lot of people to rely on, and it would have been way worse if it was just my mom and dad, and I'd be all alone in the house. Like I never was alone. I could go to a different floor in my house, and other people were there. I could go to the house next door where my uncles and aunts were living, and if I didn't have food, they'd feed me, and I'd chill with them. I'd hang out with them, and they would take me out. So if my dad's not there taking me out, they're like, "Oh, we're going out. You want to come along?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking shit, take me out." So
You know who I really respect? You look at some of these high-level entrepreneurs, like their kids are well-raised. Like I don't know if you follow Grant Cardone.
I do.
His kids are like 13 and are able to public speak at the level of a college student.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, dude.
So-
Even Owen's kids are running seminars, you know?
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
How
like,
old are they?
like Tristan is 13. Like Tristan, or was it Dylan? He's running seminars as well. And Owen's been talking about it a lot. And he's like, kids just raise themselves. So, like, I mean, I am, I think, more old school. Also because I've seen how relationships work. I've read a lot about it. So in my own journey of healing, you need both the parents to be there because that is the idea that you formulate in your kid's mind of how a good relationship looks like. He needs to see that because humans are very monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking important.
Not that I'm gonna have kids anytime soon.
Yeah,
but,
same.
I mean, I
don't
think
plan to.
the smart people are having way less kids. It's the ones that are not educated that are tripling and pumping out kids like crazy.
Yeah, in the rural areas, people have more kids in India as
Yeah,
well. So I mean,
So the gene pool is basically not favoring a high IQ.
yeah.
I mean,
We want to take our time doing that though.
I have no
having
idea.
kids.
Like, I can't imagine what things are going to be like 100, 200 years from now. Basically, this is how I see it, right? If you look at population of species, I mean, we're getting hella nerdy, so like, right? It's just like
Just
good
two nerds
environment,
sitting
yeah,
together.
just good environments, the population explodes, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like a sinusoidal wave, right? Population expansion, some shit happens, population collapse. So usually, like the same thing with, let's say, deer and wolves, right? Deer
Yeah.
population increases, then the wolves population
them.
increases, and then it's just like up and down. So I think what happens is like, I think there's human expansion, and then eventually we're gonna have some sort of choke point, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a virus or mass starvation or fucking, a natural disaster that's gonna cause a decrease. And I think a lot of things are gonna shift when that happens.
Yeah.
So New York, LA, Vegas. So you like New York?
I like New York. New York was great. LA was great because, as you just said, you need to have good people showing you around. And I had Owen show me around. I had a lot of other people as well. I've been in Vegas. Michael Sardane took me out the day before. So he took me to EBC. So that was chill. It was like a dead night, but it was still chill. Then I've been talking to you, asking you where to go.
Was that a Wednesday or was it?
It was a Wednesday, so it was kind of dead.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been talking to you, and you've been telling me the right places to go, so that I'm not gonna fuck up. But yeah, it's similar to what I've seen in Europe. It's similar to what I've seen in Bali. Like there's no one up out here. It's just that I feel the girls love me here a bit more, or maybe it's just that they know that I've got like a YouTube channel or I'm famous. Maybe that's why. But on the other hand, when I did game in, let's say, LA, the girls were much more receptive and much more like,
Vegas.
I haven't done game in Vegas yet.
Okay.
As compared to, let's say, India. Not even as compared to India, I don't know, I just felt girls were receptive because I've seen girls are generally receptive to me depending what my mind state is.
Yeah.
If I'm like being a little bitch, then they don't like me at all, dude. It doesn't matter what I am. And if I feel like I'm the fucking Indian prince out here, they love the shit out of me.
Yeah, I've never met a guy that's like, I want to go to India and pick up chicks.
Yeah,
That's not like a.
it should not be like that.
Thing that you hear.
It should not be like that. Like there's I wouldn't recommend anyone there unless you really like Indian chicks.
Yeah.
You like the Bollywood actresses and everything. Then definitely would do it. Mumbai and Delhi are going to be the places for you. But if that's not your type,
it's not easy. Yeah, I think with the internet, like people kind of know where they're easy or nicer spots.
Yeah,
not that many secrets where it's like, oh, we've never heard of
also,
this.
Also, it's volume. You have much more volume in Bali. Like Bali is one of the best places ever to game.
Yeah, it's on our notes. Yeah.
Oh
tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
about it.
So I'll talk about it. So Bali is a place where you do where you can meet people 24 hours a day. Like 24 hours a day. You've got night game happening on a fucking Monday night and it's packed with epic ratio, like a 3:2 ratio, 3 girls to 2 guys.
Okay.
And you can just talk to everyone. And there is no entry scenes. You're not paying for anybody. You don't need to have couple entry out there. So let's say if you start off in the afternoon, Bali has something for everyone. So you could be wanting a girl who does party a lot or somebody who's more spiritual. You have that. Somebody who's into fitness. You have that. Somebody who runs. You got run clubs out there. You got girls doing pickleball out there. You got girls just traveling. You got the hippie chicks. You got the ayahuasca chicks. You got everything in Bali, dude. So it's variety for everyone. And the other thing I love about Bali is if you...
Ayahuasca chicks?
Yeah, dude. The hippie, the Ubud chicks, dude. They're all going to be like, oh, I'm in eighth dimension out right now. I'm not even here.
Chicks, man.
I'm not even here, It's crazy. So even I can't stand those chicks. But anyway, so you start off in the afternoon, You go to maybe grab a bite or you're around the streets. Or maybe you go to the beach. You talk to the girls.
This is Canggu, right?
Canggu. Yeah, Canggu. Yeah. So you go to the streets in Canggu. You're talking to people. You do that till like 4 or 5. Maybe you insta-date, you chill with them on the beach, you have like longer conversations, like quality conversations. And generally try to meet the girl, try to have a good time with her and not just think about sleeping with her.
Yeah.
And I think that's a better approach as well because you have quality sets. So by 4 or 5, you're in the streets and then it's sunset time. So sunset time, people are kind of going back. You invite them for a drink with you. They go for a drink with you. Maybe from there, one thing leads to another. You maybe go to their place or you invite them for a date that same very night at a club. So they'll meet you at 10 or 11 o'clock. If they're not meeting you at 10 or 11 o'clock, you go back on the streets. You start on to people.
Go back to the streets.
Go back to the streets. And then at around 9 o'clock, you see hordes of people just walking to the clubs. So you start on to them. If you hit it up with someone, you go with them to the club. You chill, you warm up, you have a couple of drinks, just have fun. But just, don't get drunk. Like 1 drink, 2 drink is fine. Of course, if we don't boot camp,
we don't drink.
We don't drink. So you do that, and then 9, 10, 11 o'clock, more people start coming in. Now night game has started. It's like the second half of the night from 11 to 1. Yeah. 11 to 1, you do second half of the night. 1 o'clock, the club closes. The party shifts to the beach now. From 1 to 5, you've got the party at the beach. At the same time, you've got the streets again, the holy grail of game. People are going...
it's just like a normal street?
It's just... So it's a street where there are 2 clubs on the right. So it's a street, and at the end of the street, it's 2 clubs on the right, and then the beach club.
Okay.
The one on the beach. All right. So you're in those 2 clubs. You're there. Also during daytime, if you want to do night game in daytime, you've got Finn's, which is a beach club in the daytime. Yeah. So till 11 p.m. you got Finn's. After 11, you head out to Old Man's and Mexicola, and then you get to the beach bar, whatever the name is, I forgot. And then that shuts at 4 or 5. Then you do Skagar at 4 or 5. You get hit the streets again. People are going back home. You talk to them, maybe. And a number of times, our clients met a girl who just loved them instantly. And instead of going home, they're like, oh, let's get a quick drink. So they got a quick drink, or they just got something to eat. And then they went home with the girl. Yeah. Beautiful. Or they went home with them to like our villa.
How long were you in Bali for?
I've been there twice. On the first time, I was there for 5 days. The second time, I went there for a boot camp. So I was there 10 days.
Okay.
And we had 7 clients. Each and every client pulled.
That's good.
3, 4 clients pulled multiple times. So everybody got laid. Everyone met like amazing people, had amazing holistic experiences. They fell in love and everything. It was eat, pray, love all over. And it was just beautiful. I love love, It was beautiful there. Also, I'm not done, So 6 a.m. Yeah. If 6 a.m., you got the run clubs out there. You got the gym chicks. You got the yoga chicks. So you start doing that. Right. You get the early bird catches the worm. And in the morning, you do that. So it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and it's all over again. 24 hours. And I've been to Ibiza, Vegas. I've been to the US. I did a Euro trip last year in October. Yeah. I've been to London. I've been to Thailand. Bali, by far, is the best place.
That's good.
The best.
Maybe you convinced me because last time I went to Bali was 2016. I went with a girl. So my experience is completely different than yours.
Yeah.
There's zero approach. We just did like normal cutesy stuff.
Yeah.
Went on a hike, so that was about it.
Yeah, you can do a hike there. You can visit you can see culture there. You can go to the beach. You can do anything you want in Bali. So
we did Mount Agung. So it was we started at midnight and then got to the top during sunrise.
Yeah. I was just coaching. The first time we went on a bachelor trip because a friend of mine was getting married, and then I'm the guy who gets the trip going because I'm the game guy. Yeah. Everyone else is sort of like kind of doing it, but then I'm just like, yo, fucking shit, we're not here to just sit around and spend time with each other. Fuck you guys, we're gonna do game. And then it was immersion. We did like a 7-day immersion. People flew in from Australia and Dubai and other places as well.
So these are your international clients. That
These are Indians living abroad.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Do you ever get like a white dude?
no,
Why not?
I don't know, but there aren't enough white dudes in India. It's also because I talk in Hindi. They don't understand my content. So
What about Asian guy?
no. Only Indians. So it's only Indians that we get. Indians, Pakistani, Bangladesh, Sri Lankans, like the South Asian crowd. That's the one I get mostly.
It's good to be an Asian dating coach, bro.
Yeah.
An Asian Indian, because we're just like you guys. If you look at the demographics, Asian or Indians have like the highest income.
Oh yeah, I
bracket
saw
in
that.
America.
115,000.
The best clients,
yeah.
dude.
They're the
It's
big.
like,
They're
they
the
make
biggest
a lot of
ethnic
money,
group.
and they need the most. They need help too. So
Yeah,
it's the perfect client.
And they're very passionate as well. You know, it's just that I feel Indians have sort of forgotten where they come from. They've just sort of forgotten. Like we were fucking epic before the British took over, dude. India was called like Sone ki chidiya. What's that? It's like a golden bird. And then the British came in. They took everything away.
Yeah, the
fucking
British
shit.
now wasn't the prime minister Indian?
Yeah, the prime minister is Indian origin, and even in
Right,
the
full
states,
circle.
you've got a lot of people who are South Asian origin. You know, like
Yeah.
you've got the biggest tech CEOs.
Oh,
you've,
yeah, dude.
you've got the people in like the cabinet. You've got Kamala Harris. She's like I think
Yeah.
she's Pakistani or something, or maybe Indian.
She's brown turned black.
Brown tone black. So I mean, Indians are very hardworking at a lot
Yeah.
of stuff, and the reason why you see a lot of Indians not very good at dating or not very good at social skills is because they don't need to. We've got arranged marriage.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's there as well.
Dude, I had a call where this guy was like, he wanted to learn dating, but like he also had the option of his parents setting him up, and it seemed like he was teetering between not making a commitment.
Yeah.
I was like, pick one, dude.
Yeah.
You gonna let your dating be in the hands of your parents, or are you gonna
Yeah.
fucking sacrifice and learn this shit?
Yeah. But also again, like, I mean, arranged marriage is good for society because, and I'll tell you why. I think game is good for society. I think arranged marriage is good for society. It's just that statistically speaking, you're never going to have the 100% of population doing game or approaching a girl, talking to a girl. It's just not never going to happen. So what do you do about the other people? Like even Jordan Peterson says that if like there would be less incels if there was arranged marriage, you know, and all of these. Yeah, because
it's true.
Because
Yeah,
people are lonely.
Yeah.
They're not getting girls, and they're just sitting home, and they feel like they have no hope. And we need to help them out rather than just asking them to man up. Okay, that's one thing. You don't victimize yourself. You man up. But then at the same time, society also needs to come together and like arranged marriage is like a beautiful thing since like the olden cultures, and that's how. Like, why do you think like a country like India, which has no game, has the highest population ever? Arranged marriage.
Good medicine.
Because they love fucking. And
Dude,
how are
there's
they
no way
getting the girls?
Americans are gonna do arrange. It's never gonna happen. I feel like society can go in one direction.
Yeah,
which is
but
towards degeneracy and
I'm gonna not. Yeah, India's. We're not gonna let that happen, dude. Like whoever's listening, dude, India's not gonna go that direction. The next decade is
run
ours.
for like a political.
They'll
position
never
eventually.
let me, dude. I'm a certified retired fuckboy, dude.
Yeah, just,
They're never
just-
gonna let me.
Just whenever you're done with dating, just change your
Yeah.
change your branding. So maybe
Yeah.
like Iron Man politician.
IronManVoting.com.
There you go.
Yeah. But like, we're not gonna let that happen. I am so pumped after this trip that I feel patriotic after this trip, like meeting all the people.
Yeah.
And because all of you guys that I'm meeting, like you've got nice things to say about Indians. It's never like bad. It's like I spoke to you and I spoke to Michael, I spoke to Owen, everybody I'm meeting, they're very empathetic. They're like, dude, like Indians need to learn this stuff. And they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're like the highest ethnic group. But it's just, if they were just a little bit better socially, if they would hit the gym, they would just integrate themselves into the American culture. Because guess what? You're in America now. Even though you don't know the culture, you can sit and bitch about it and you can cry about it that it's very different. Oh my God, I was never exposed to it.
Yeah.
But holy fucking shit, now you're here. Shut the fuck up. Get off your asses. Quit fucking OnlyFans and using your high earned income into, paying for fucking sex. And go out there, learn cultures and get exposed to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we have good things to say because we've interacted with so many Indian guys, so we're like we can relate to them more, and I probably have had 400 to 500 Indian clients.
Yeah, dude.
That's like live boot camps too.
Yeah, and I would want to learn from you on that matter about like Indians in America because I haven't met a lot of them. So like your buddy out here who stays with you, he's raised in India. Most of my clients, they're born in India and then they come here for like, let's say college or like for work.
Yeah.
So they're not American born mostly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the difference there?
Not
Okay,
really
cool.
that much. I mean, I don't.
What's the most?
I feel like Indians retain their culture. So
yeah.
I mean, look, if you lived here before puberty, you're gonna have more Americanized accent.
Yeah.
If you've lived in India longer, you're gonna have a stronger accent. But as far as like way of thinking, I don't think it changes that much.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I feel it should, because like when I'm here, like I don't know, do you think I'm pretty westernized, or do you think I'm more like Indian?
Dude, your accent just makes you sound like you're straight out of India. But
yeah.
I mean,
but then generally with the culture and everything.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, you sound
Yeah.
like you've been here for a while, or you're pretty worldly.
Yeah, and I would still want to be connected to the culture, but I would not want to alienate other people or just be very protective about my culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be connected to the roots, but I don't want to be chained to it. I want to expand. I want to go everywhere, and I just want to be connected. Like I feel people here are more chained to the idea of the Indian culture.
Yeah, I'm kind of just relating to the race. I'm kind of in that situation. Like I'm proud to be Asian,
Yeah,
but sometimes I forget I'm even Asian.
yeah.
Like I don't really go around thinking like,
True.
what do people think of Asian? I just
Oh yeah,
like I've been to Africa and I feel like I fit right in.
yeah.
I
feel
been
the
to Latin
same.
America. I just feel like I'm just a dude.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and then I look in the mirror. I'm Asian. Okay, cool.
yeah. I
So-
feel
yes.
yeah. Unless I'm traveling with like 4 Indian dudes,
Yeah.
I feel I fit in everywhere. It's just never a problem.
I don't think people are ever gonna stop talking about race. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but when it comes to content, race in titles always baits the most engagement. I don't think I feel like racism has gotten even worse on the internet. You look at
I think everything's
you
gone
look at
worse
shit on the
fucking
internet. It's like there's so much of that shit on the internet. People say
Yeah.
what they really think on the internet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but like for me, when you travel enough, people are the same everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really not that, everybody has the same needs and same fundamental wants.
Yeah, true.
So,
Everyone.
but I think ultimately, yes, we should be proud of our race. But I think
Uh-huh.
people, when it comes to dating, they value too much on like the race. Just like pretend you don't have a race.
Yeah.
Like, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
What's your identity?
Yeah.
If you like, because I feel like once you've established a certain level of competency in life, like the race, if somebody makes their race the most important part of their identity, that just means you really haven't accomplished.
Yeah, you know
A
how
whole lot.
people make the height? Like you go on Instagram, people are like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Bibliophile, sapiosexual. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. You just don't have a personality. And they're like, oh, gym boy. I'm like, shut up, dude. What the fuck?
If you look at guys that are in business that are successful in life,
Yeah.
like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
your
What do
background.
you think about these looks maxing guys? You know, looks maxing? It's taken over.
I mean, most of them are pretty negative, so I don't really
Yeah.
associate. But the funny thing is, these guys that talk about looks maxing, they don't practice what they preach. Because if
Okay,
you really
what's that?
cared about looks maxing, just go to the gym and
yeah.
get a suit, look better, right? But they just like to argue and not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the interesting thing is like, I think for a lot of guys, right, eventually you're gonna find dating content on the internet.
Mhm.
Let's say you're a blue pill guy, you play video games, you're wholesome, you're never exposed to dating.
Yeah.
And then you see that one Instagram reel or video that kind of takes you down this rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
You got to make a decision. Like, am I going to take action or not? Because knowing more actually hurts you. Basically, like, okay, you get exposed to dating content, right? You learn more. You know more. There's two curves, right? There's what you know, and then your real life success.
Yeah.
You need to make sure this gap doesn't widen.
Yeah.
The bigger this gap widens, the more unhappy you are, and the more depressed you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Right? You're kind of like that guy that knew about Bitcoin in 2011, and everybody invested, and all your buddies are million. You know everything about crypto, but you don't even hold a single Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it's fucking sad, right?
Yeah.
So you basically, for most guys, this is what I say: if you become exposed to dating, make a decision. Either you're gonna fucking go all in. Within the next 3 months, you start making noticeable change, or just don't watch the content.
Yeah.
Because when you start watching this content, if you don't start going out and meet girls and level up, this gap is going to just crease. That's how people end up in all this red pill and black pill, all this looks maxing bullshit. Because basically what's happening is they know about dating, but they never like went to the other side.
Yeah.
And now all
They
that
never applied it. They never spoke to a girl.
And then all that energy now is just channeled into negativity.
Yeah.
And they're bitter now.
And it's also this obsession behind statistics, behind looking at reports. Oh, this report said girls are like this. This report said all girls are like this. But all right, cool. Even if majority of the girls are like this and they have like a sexual preference or even a racial preference or even a particular height of a guy, there are enough girls who are going to be outliers who do not fall into that category. There's still a 40% of the girls. And that 40% you're never going to be approaching. So
here's the fun thing about statistics, since you study statistics and I study engineering, is like statistics only talks about a large sample of data.
A huge sample of it.
A large sample of data. It doesn't talk about a specific data point, right? You are one specific data point in a huge distribution.
Yeah.
Right? The distribution, the statistics will only tell you the probability of you within that sample size.
Yeah.
Right? But you're a conscious being who can change your own actions.
Yeah.
So you can change where you fit along 100%. That curve. You're a conscious being. You're not just like, you're not 1,000 data points that you can't change.
True. And it's also that thing like, all right, cool, fucking shit. Statistics say this about people. Statistics, they say that. There was this report, that study, whatever the fuck. But what do you want to do in your life? Just because a report says something about you, you want to end up with an average looking girl, or you want to just never talk to girls. Like your internal libido, your internal drive as a man is asking you to go talk to that girl, that I want to be with that girl. And you will let a report influence you to not talk to that girl. You will let them talk you out of it. And all right, cool. Let's say we talk about SMV, and anybody can say I'm a 6. Let's say by SMV, because I feel I'm a fucking 10 already. I don't give a fuck what SMV says. I'm a 10, and as Owen says it, I'm not even a 10. I'm a 1 of 1. There's nobody else like me. It's just fucking me. And if you want that 1 of 1, it's just me. You just get it here. I'm like the only piece out there. So now, if let's say I'm a 6, right, and I only deserve a 6, and I can only be with the 6, but I will only get a 6 if I feel that way. If I tell myself that I want a 10, that's the only girl I want, and I just only talk to the 9s and 10s. Of course, I talk to the other people for practice, but I only date the 9s and 10s. Only those ones. What are the chances is like in a year I'm not gonna get like a super hot, like an amazing girlfriend who's a fucking surgeon? Yeah. Like whatever you're gonna settle for is what you're gonna get.
That's pretty hard for most guys. A 10 that's a surgeon in a year, that's still pretty ambitious.
We'll get it. Like you take 1 year mentoring
that's
with
pretty
me.
Ambitious,
you
dude.
take one year one-on-one with me. I'm pretty sure I'll get that for these guys. I
don't even know if I've met a 10 who's a surgeon in Vegas in the last 5 years running.
Yeah. So. I will introduce if someone is a one-on-one client for a year. And he's like, bro, I will pay you I'll pay you money for this thing. Yeah. I will make sure in a year I make him meet that 10. I will find it for him.
That's funny. I have a 1 year, $100,000 program that I'll guarantee you double-digit results.
Shit, dude.
So,
$100,000.
100,000.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, I gotta move to the States, dude.
I only had one guy take it, and he lives here. So.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've gotten him more than double. I gotten him 50 lays. So
shit.
He's gotten his money's worth.
Yeah. Anybody wants to pay me $100,000? Anything you want. You want a very nice wife, or you want the epic lake count? I'll get that for you. Like and if you're an Indian dude, like there's nobody that can do it better. I'm like Naughty America, dude. Nobody does it better.
That's good. Fuck, what were we talking about?
We're just riffing, dude. I like it. Anyway,
I do want to say one thing. I think Indian guys have the most drive. Yeah. Like whenever I have boot camps, they're always the ones that are the most engaged, and they ask the most questions, and they're always like you could. Like, it's not about your looks or your height, none of that. It's about like making it work, right? It's kind of like picking up girls. Like you're inherently chasing something that's a small probability. Right?
Yeah,
it's not like 1 out of 1. It's not like I talk to one girl and I have a 98% chance of pulling 1 out of 1, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, if you talk to 20 girls, right, maybe 10 of them conversation's good.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them you have like you isolate. Maybe 1 of them the logistics is good.
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta like squeeze out every single percentage, and it's kind of like starting a business, right?
True.
You gotta really make it work.
you
Not
have
everything
to.
is aligned. A lot of things are against you. When you're in a club, you're fighting, you're fighting entropy, you're fighting chaos, all the other dudes, her friends, just things just don't align, right?
Yeah.
What I notice about Indian guys is like they're always asking the most amount of questions and they're just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, when I have a lot of other races or whatever, maybe as an Asian guy, they'll get the number, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm like, did you follow up? Like, if I talk to any guy, chances are that guy's like, yeah, I sent her 3 text messages. I called, I called her friend. I added her friend on like, they're not hard tasks.
Yeah.
It's just, do you believe in yourself and are you trying to get the win?
Yeah.
Whereas like an Asian guy is like, oh, I didn't even text her once. I'm like, you spent an hour last night talking to her, yet you didn't even spend 2 seconds to follow up today.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a skill thing. It's not an intelligence thing.
100%.
It's simply just like, are you going after what you want? And Indian guys they just fucking go for it, dude.
Yeah. No, I agree, dude.
Yeah.
I agree. But like, since I'm only exposed to Indian guys, I still get a lot of people who are not following up with like the girls. And I'm like, guys,
That's a
you've
huge- yeah.
got to fucking text
Yeah.
them. It's the most important thing. You cannot just skip texting them. Yeah. One thing which has been really great on this trip is getting to see what level social circle game can help,
Yeah.
And I feel game should not just be cold approach, or I feel people should not be like, oh, this is better, that's better. It's like, see what's
everything.
better, see like the combination of that. You want to do online dating, you want to do cold approach, you want to go to day game, night game, you want to do social circle. And at like a highest level, it's just better in the sense that it's more lazy.
Yeah.
You get people to come to you and you always want that, you know? Like, so that's pretty sweet.
I think people should start with cold approach first.
100%.
What's the issue is like when people try to skip steps and they don't realize, okay, there's a lot of prerequisites.
Yep.
It's like, you went to Owen's house. The guy's probably $100 million net worth.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that have already been established, right?
Yeah.
You see all these guys, like sometimes I'll get a student and they're like, I want that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, have you done 10 years of cold approach?
Yeah.
What's your net worth? You're making $40K a year? Okay, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you're making $40K and you want to have a party with 200 girls,
Yeah.
can you even pay for like the drink?
The party, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't even pay for the alcohol for the drink.
Yeah.
How's this gonna work out, right? I had one of my this guy I was working with. He was like, "Oh, I want to do social circle. Okay, first you get a couple million." Like, it's just funny where he skipped the hardest part. He was like, "All right, so this is what you got to do. First, become a multimillionaire. Then you just make friends with the promoters." And you're like, okay, yeah, making friends with promoters, that's easy.
That's easy.
But you just skip the hardest part, like become a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing for that?
Yeah.
Right? So
You've got to. And I feel like, so I was talking to Michael Sardine about this, and I was like, cold approach is important for you to get desensitized. He's like, if you're going to be around really hot girls, you're going to be desensitized. But then it's not about getting desensitized being around hot girls. It's about getting desensitized with the rejections, with like, with really going for it and not be scared to go for it. And then also understanding how you can make it happen and sort of get that going. So I feel both of them have their own place. Some people are just not ever going to talk to a girl and they're just going to do the setup. I think that's cool as well. And then some people like, us, like I feel I'll be more of like a purist with like cold approach. I'm like, dude, it's like, we need that.
I think you got to work on yourself as a person, right?
Yeah.
I see this happen so much where guys, they don't build a cold approach, the fundamentals, how to have conversations, and they try the social circle thing.
Yeah.
What happens is they don't get results on the events. They just become a glorified event planner.
Yeah.
So all their energy becomes like coordinating, following up on DMs. You just become you're basically a $3 an hour Filipino assistant on Upwork. I mean, is that what you want, right? If you don't have the prereqs, you're doing a lot of just churning and doing a lot of wasted time. So.
Yeah. True.
But there are rich people, like some people, I agree. Some people just don't want to spend all that fucking time.
Yeah.
To run around, especially rich guys. Sometimes the hardest clients to work with are the rich ones.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to, they want to, because they think like, in business, a lot of things is better to outsource. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like to do this. This is boring shit. Let me outsource it. Somebody else to do it. But I think with dating, like, you can't outsource certain things. You got to go through the process yourself.
Yeah.
And so they want to outsource. And a lot of times, especially guys that like do sugar baby shit, or they pay for, I've had clients that spend $20,000 for a matchmaking service.
Really?
That's like, I'm just like, You spent $20,000. They gave you 7 dates. That's like the ROI. Like you're basically paying $3,000 per date.
Yeah, we should get into matchmaking, dude.
You know, and these girls are not.
Yeah, I feel in India, if I'm into matchmaking, that'd be like a bigger fucking market than getting
Because
guys.
it's easy.
to-
Because like the appeal of matchmaking is you don't have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
It's done for you. Right?
It's like popping that anti-anxiety pill rather than meditating.
yeah.
What is that, like
exactly.
Xanax or something?
Yeah. Ozempic.
Oh, Ozempic is for losing
Diet,
weight,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you ever like take Ozempic or something like that?
I'm not fat. I don't need it.
Yeah, but like if you were fat, would you take it? Maybe.
I would work out and diet.
Yeah.
Obviously. But
That's what I would do.
Unless I have some weird condition where I just can't lose weight.
Yeah.
Sure. It's a tool, right?
Yeah.
I
I
would do all
mean, it's gonna have long-term effects.
Yeah.
Like I saw a page where it's literally about the side effects of Botox. So there are people who've gotten Botox and now they're paralyzed and everything because it stays inside you and then they get
I've gotten it once.
all these for what?
I went to Thailand, got some butter. I just tried it out for fun.
For like where? Like what part?
Just like right here and then
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
I've had fillers done. It did change my face. When I smile, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So,
I think you look fine, dude. I would never guess that you got Botox or some shit.
well, like you don't need it.
That's why you
I
look,
just
you look
did
younger
it.
than
I
me.
just did it just to see. How old are you, by the way?
32.
Oh shit, you're hella young. Fuck, dude.
How old are you?
God damn, old as hell. 41.
Yeah, we got like a decade apart.
Damn, dude.
But because when I
You're
was
doing great for your age, man. When I was 32, fuck.
No, I knew you even when, a decade back, I knew who you were, which is why
okay.
when you were in Delhi, I reached out because I think you were back then in the forums and everything. So
Yeah, I posted a lot.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
in the
So I knew, and then you had a channel and everything. And I was like, okay, this is one of the dudes.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
cool. Botox, I would say if you could do it, it doesn't hurt.
I'm starting to get like, when I smile, like these lines.
The thing is, the idea is like if you do Botox, it's like preventative. So you don't, when you smile and you wrinkle, like it gets bigger and bigger.
yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's cosmetic. So I mean, I think sunscreen is probably, we're getting way off topic, but like,
I think
Sunscreen.
people will love talking about sunscreen and everything because it's the easy thing to do. They would rather we talk about sunscreen and Botox and what do you call hormone blockers and not using scents and everything and getting your testosterone dialed up.
I'm all for using whatever tools that make you feel good and look good, as long as you understand the risk. Because the thing with risk is it's like either something bad happens or nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a probability. So I mean, as long as you take it and nothing bad happens, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think if you want to have plastic surgery, you want to take hormone therapy, you understand the risk and you do it right. I think that's.
Yeah. You've done TRT?
I've done the real RT.
No, that I know.
I've never done TRT, but I've done the full RT.
Yeah, but then that was like a while
Long time.
back.
Yeah.
A long time.
I'm all about doing everything once,
Yeah.
just so before I die, I can say I did it. I felt like an Indian man when I was on steroids, dude. I mean, I did 2 cycles, but they were only like 3 months.
Okay.
And so like my testicles didn't really shrink that much.
Okay.
Like it was like
That much.
you feel like you really feel like I couldn't even work. All I did was just wanting to go to the gym and like approach.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I wanted to do. Yeah. So
Not recommended though. Not recommended.
but
and it's illegal in India. So
Okay.
No.
But I would say if you look at all the entrepreneurs, there's a reason why they fucking work that hard. Almost all of them are on TRT.
Really?
Grant Cardone's he's definitely on
Yeah.
some designer shit. Dude, the guy has 6-pack at 66.
Yeah. But then
Andy
you got
Elliott's on
Elon.
TRT.
You got Elon and Mark Zuckerberg and
They're on
everyone.
some shit. They're all, dude, if you're a billionaire, you're on some designer shit, dude.
Really, I don't know. Like Zuck was like kind of corny and like skinny as dude back in the day. Like he got Facebook to 1 billion when he was nerd looking. And even when
Jeff Bezos, he put on more muscle now in his 50s and 60s. And
No, 100%. He'd be on TRT. I'm not denying the fact.
yeah.
Maybe like testosterone replacement when I get 40, 50, I might be open for it. But getting something cosmetic, I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna get on it. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Until maybe after, if I have kids or whatever. Because there's like some dangers with TRT, like you gotta like freeze your sperm and stuff.
True.
Haven't read too much
Yeah.
about it, but you seem like you don't need it right now.
No, right now.
I think you're good, dude.
Yeah, I'm full of fucking
This guy
energy
is
and everything.
yeah, this guy is more. You need to sell a fucking energy protocol. Like I don't know. Like you were doing a podcast at 5 a.m. after doing a boot camp. That's just
Yeah.
that's insane, bro.
And then we did like 2 podcasts when I'm sleeping. And then I did another one on 3 hours sleep with Michael Sartain yesterday. And then I went to sleep after fucking 3 days, dude. But it's like, when am I again going to be in the US? Like, I'll be there again next year. But at the same time, I want to make the most out of it. And I feel I'm pretty fucking ambitious even right now.
I noticed like once you hit like 36, 37, that's
Mm-hmm.
when like sleep really, like not having enough sleep really fucks with you.
Yeah.
Like when I was 32, so that was like 2015 for me, 2014. Pull all nighter, it wasn't that big of a deal. But once I hit like 37, it's like I gotta wear the fucking face masks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I always sleep in like blacked out rooms and have face masks. I always. And whenever I sleep for 8 hours and I sleep without an alarm.
that's good.
And
There you
I
go.
sleep at like 3 or 4 a.m., but I'm always sleeping 8 hours. That is one thing that is non-negotiable for me.
Do you live with your girl or you guys live separately?
No, we live separately. She visits me like once or twice a week.
So you get your perfect sleep. Yeah. Wait, what was that funny?
No, because you're like, because I don't live with my girlfriend, I get my perfect sleep. That's why that was funny.
I mean, if you live with somebody and they're in the same bed,
They keep moving.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
distracted. Yeah. that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm saying.
they-
this is not a.
Yeah, they keep moving and everything. Nah, it was just funny. It's like, oh, you live with a girl. You're not going to be able to sleep, dude. Fuck, you're done.
I was just like, different bedtime. Sometimes
Yeah.
people snore. I don't know. Just
Yeah. But she's nice. Like, she's always sort of changing her life for me. So like we'd be in bed and like in 2 minutes I just doze off and I start sleeping. And then she's got to go to work in the morning at like 7.
she's already working, right? She's done with school. She's like working.
Yeah, she's been working for a while now,
Okay.
and she's like a surgeon. She's
pretty
30,
cool.
31 herself, so of course she's working. And I've told her like, maybe like in like a year or two, I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna live off the surgeon money because I'm done with this shit. There's like so much fucking stress, and all I want to do is I want to get like an electric scooter and just roam around town.
That's what I want to do.
Fuck around.
I just want to bike around in the villages
yeah.
of fucking.
Yeah.
I just wanna-
Yeah, and I'm like, baby, you're gonna run this shit, and I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna be the trophy wife.
People don't understand.
I want you
like-
to be my sugar fucking daddy.
Yeah, I'm sure you make more money than her. It's a joke. So
Yeah.
it's funny. Like when people think that, I mean, I think you enjoy going out, but like I've ran so much boot camps. It's
I
work
know.
for me. Like when I'm done, I don't want to fucking talk to any girls. Like I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I'm drained.
Yeah. Now I don't want to talk to girls as well because like there's nothing out of it
It's
for
like-
me now that I'm committed. But I'd love to do it on like boot camp or like if there are clients, I'd love to. I still like because once you're in it, it's just so much fun.
when you're in it, when you do a
So
couple
much
of
fun.
sets and you have your meta glasses and
Yeah.
oh shit, good content. For me, it's like
Yeah.
I don't care about getting laid. I care about content.
Yeah.
If I have a good interaction and it's not recorded, I'm just like fuck.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I feel that all the time. But here's the thing, to make like a really big brand, I don't think you need a lot of infields now, and specifically to pull and everything, because that is so out of the reality, and that is why
I know. Like my shit was so much more advanced 10 years ago than with the stuff that people are
Yeah.
Like, hello, go out. Step 1, go outside. Step 2, say hello. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is not even 1%.
Yeah. I think for the internet, being relatable makes more sense than being cool. You got to be more relatable. You got to incite emotion. You got to get them to stop scrolling.
Fuck that. Top 1% audience.
Yeah. No, the advanced people are not top 1%. It's very small as well. Like, how
that's
do you game the algorithm? But yeah, whenever I meet people and they're like, oh, your stuff is like this. Like, before they can complete the sentence, I'm like, bro, I know what my stuff is like. It's dumbed down.
Yeah.
Because it's every content piece that I make for YouTube or Instagram is keeping in mind that dude that is struggling with dating but does not know I exist.
Yeah.
If he does not know I exist, what is every piece of content should hit that
You
guy.
got to get them in the gateway drug, the
Yeah.
gateway funnel.
Yeah. And then if you want the real shit, you've got the boot camp, you've got the mentoring,
Yeah.
you've got my private coaching. That is where we give you the real stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely do. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think like for me, it's always been like I need to prove myself. I need to have 5,000
Yeah.
students all pull. Here's all the documented footage, the
Yeah.
face blurred. But yeah, it's just.
I know. I feel that as well. I want every student to get what he came for and get his money's worth. But most of the time, 90% of the students come on a boot camp or like a program to be like, bro, we're scared of talking to girls. if I can just start talking to girls, I'll be happy. And I was like, bro, I'll do that in a day.
Yeah.
Let's aim higher.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of happy as well because it's easier to satisfy and then I over deliver.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah, you got to come do more international programs, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
You can bring some more students. You're welcome to crash in my house.
Yeah.
Anytime. So
Yeah, we could do that.
We can shoot more content, talk about travel and
Yeah.
picking up girls in Bali at Fins or whatever.
Yeah, and even energy stuff like the food, the tamas, rajas, and the sattva, the stuff that I was telling you about.
Yeah. I just know, like, if you're on vegetarian diet, like, it helps your skin. Maybe that's why your skin is pretty good.
I can't say that because I haven't split tested it, so I can't really tell you that's the case. But it's also like the energy. Like if somebody gets senile, like or he gets apathetic, that's good. Like no matter what you eat, if your mind is apathetic and you're senile, you're gonna look so much older, dude. Yeah. So it starts there. It starts with the mindset. It starts with with supplements, and of course, all of that stuff helps. A vegetarian diet is great. I love having milk. Mm-hmm. I think the vegan shit is just I don't get it. It's just very like fucking wannabe. I love the vegetarian diet. I like eating clean. I don't like a lot of coffee. The one that you made me have right now was amazing.
You don't like coffee? That's vegetarian. Nah, what are you talking about? It's beans.
It's caffeine, and I feel like I don't need like energy.
Okay, yeah.
But like sometimes when I'm kind of not very confident about myself, then maybe I want to pop a Red Bull and just tell myself that, yo, I'm the Indian prince.
This is magical shit. So when you go to the gym, you don't take like pre-workout?
Oh yeah, I do. In the gym, I've started taking.
Okay.
But like my dietitian has told me to not take pre-workout, and I take like caffeine pills now. What's like a 200 mg caffeine pill.
That's a good amount, yeah. What's the best gym in
India?
Oh yeah, you told me.
I told you. Fitness First.
That one's like not a hardcore gym. That one's kind of like a luxury.
No, yeah,
that's luxury.
That's a luxury gym. Yeah. It's in the same mall where we did your meetup, where we met at Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's on and that's where I go.
I think there's one in Thailand.
I go. Fitness First is an international chain.
Yeah, it's in Thailand as well. So I think I've seen it in a couple different.
It's an international chain. It's in LA and New York as well, I feel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it must be that. So it's pretty sweet. I like it. Now we just got the cold shower out there. So you got a cold shower, you got the steam.
Oh, the cold plunge?
The cold plunge. Yeah, you got the cold plunge, and it's pretty sweet. And you got the hyper ice massagers as well.
Okay.
You've got like hammer strength machines, and you've got like techno gym stuff. I don't know, like the Rogue plates. All the good premium
let's do
stuff.
a boot camp in Thailand. Let me know.
Yeah, we could do that.
We should do what okay, for internationally, what's like the easiest city for you to go to? Thailand?
Thailand is the easiest, but you don't have as much volume as you have in Bali. I would
really.
Yeah.
Bangkok doesn't have more volume than Bali.
Bangkok is a bit weird, dude. Because where do you want to game in Bangkok? Do you want to do
competing with the Chinese sugar daddies?
Yeah, and also with Bangkok, the thing is, I've done day game in like the malls with my friends, and it's just very difficult to hook out there. One, the language barrier, and people are more shy. Like Bali, you have more of an international crowd. It's easier.
Makes sense.
Like and Indian dudes want the white girls, you know. They're after those.
Dude. Yeah.
So
every student that like, I don't want to talk to Indian girls. I want blonde, white chicks. Yep. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, when I was in Bangkok, it was very interesting. There was like kind of distinct groups. There's like one is like the girls that are into Chinese dudes. Right?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of Chinese businessmen.
Yeah. Pat is watching as well.
Patrick? Hey, what's up,
Patrick?
Yeah,
Pat's live as well. What up,
Pat's like plugged into everything. He like knows all this shit. So, yeah, so it was weird. So I would go to clubs where there's more like East Asians. You see these like fat, rich Chinese businessmen in Bangkok.
Okay.
Right? Hot girls bouncing on fat Chinese dudes. Right?
Oh.
And then you go to some other areas, kind of like the hip hop clubs. It's more the girls that are into like more white dudes.
Yeah.
And then there's some other shitty places. I fucking hated Khao San Road.
Khao San is
low tier.
Khao San isn't nice. So where do you go in Bangkok? Like there was this place called Space that I went to. We went to some of the malls, but all hookers there, dude. So I'll tell you, there was this one girl. She's like really hot.
Yeah.
And I approached her, and she wasn't stopping. I got her to stop. I was running A-level game.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes, 10 minutes down, I'm like slowly getting her to chase and everything. Turns out she's a hooker. You would have run A-level game for a fucking hooker, dude. I hated that shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's a skill, I think. Like, there's different tools in game, right? One of the tools is learning how to like thin slice and like bucket people very quickly, right? So I think Thailand is like hooker detection and ladyboy detection.
Yeah.
Like you got to sniff that shit out quick.
But then the
'cause-
volume wasn't good there. So
Okay.
at space, and like I went to a bunch of places, dude. Like epic volume, no issues doing day
Bali.
game at any point of the time is Bali.
All right.
And I've been to Ibiza. I've been to Ibiza, Prague, Paris, London, Amsterdam. I was there. What other places did I go to? And then the US trip I'm doing. I did the entire Europe as well. The best has been Bali.
Yeah, maybe it's been a while. It's been 8 years since I've been to Bali, so I'll give it a shot.
100%. Sweet.
Good shit, man. Good to be on the pod, man.
Yeah, bro. So my YouTube is Iron Man Lifestyle, and my Instagram is Iron Man Lifestyle as well. So
I'll put it in the description below. So.
Yo, we're out here in the US, and as Conor McGregor says, the Indians have arrived, and we're here to take over.
Yeah, we're both doing a boot camp this weekend, so
Yep.
we'll be posting a lot of content. So stay tuned for.